St Joseph's in Cwmaman is a progressive and community-orientated church which has undergone complete physical transformation over the past few years. It has recently been in the headlines for having solar panels which are selling electricity back to the grid. This film has been made to record the combined success of public art and community regeneration in Cwmaman. This summer it hosted its 4th environmental festival. This coincided with an environmental sculpting programme and the subsequent hosting of 10 experienced craftsmen in the church buildings and in the nearby Cwmaman Workmen's Hall and Institute. The sculptures were fundraised and commissioned by the Environmental Festival Committee, and that group have now formed a limited company dedicated to the maintenance of the sculptures and further fundraising to enhance the whole community with wood sculpture and other environmentally sustainable activities. The sculptures and community woodland improvements have been funded by Pt1, Woodlands for All, in an Pt1 programme run by the Forestry Commission.
My name's Rebecca Davis. I don't know if you can hear me above the chainsaw. I'm here to record a feature for BBC Radio 4 You and Yours programme about this being the first solar-powered church in Wales and possibly in the UK. So that's what we're interested in, and how this £750,000 grant has made this now the hub of the community, hopefully. But there's a lot going on in the show at the moment and outside, so I'm trying to wait for a bit of quiet. So it actually sounds and looks like a church. So I've had a nice cup of tea.
Rebecca Davis discovered.
On circus workshop for the local school children. It's not exactly what you expect to see at the church, but this isn't your typical church. All the pews have been taken out, and right here in front of the altar, the local children are absolutely lapping up this show. It's part of the church's Environment Festival, and the environment is now central to St Joseph's. Nice to see a church so full of school children, something completely different, isn't it?
My name is Father David, and here we are at St Joseph's Church, Cwmaman.
I've seen some of you in church now twice this week. This could catch on, you know. I've got to now just say a few thank yous, and that is to Gareth James, the architect, because it's just superb, isn't it? It's a multi-use building. We use it for all kinds of things. If you've been in here, let me try and think of about 3 weeks ago, there was this huge paper sculpture sponsored by Science Shops. It was a great thing, and that was in here for a couple of weeks, and then all of a sudden we use it as a church again. That flexibility and the one thing which everybody says when they come in here is it's changed, but it still looks like my church.
Locally available speakers and songwriters such as Terry Walton, the Rhondda television gardener, and Terry Clark, the Dylan Thomas Festival songwriter, have helped to interpret the value of Cwmaman's input into the environmental heritage and art-based regeneration of the area.
Tonight the anguish hurts my head. to caress I cannot see. Your pale distressing image in my breast, and I must speak no crimson of the thorn trees in the lane. My father stooping at the door, soling my boots or clipping my coarse hair, and never hinting that we were poor. My uncle trudging cold blood from the bed, such transcendent music in his head. I heard the stars all singing the night that he lay dead. And that quick-tempered chapel man who loved the sea and all its gear, he had a broken house and a dream yacht, and lived in mysteries and did not fear.
From this high quarried ledge, I see the place for which the Quakers once collected clothes, my father's home. Our stubborn, bankrupt village sprawled in jaded dusk beneath its nameless hills. The drab streets strung across the Cwm, derelict workings, tips of slag the gospelers and gamblers use, and children strutting for the coal that winter dole cannot purvey. Allotments where the collier digs, while engines hack the coal within his brain. Grey Hebron in a rigid cramp, and white cheap chat cinema, and the church stretched like a sow beside the stream, and mourners in their Sunday best holding a tiny funeral, singing hymns that drift insidious as the rain which rises from the steaming fields, and swathes about the skyline crags till all the upland gorse is drenched and all the creaking mountain gates drip brittle tears of crystal peace. And in a curtained parlour, women hug a huge grief and anger against God. But now the dusk, more charitable than Quakers, veils the cracked cottages with drifting May and rubs the hard day off the slate. Colliers squatting on the ash tip listen to one who holds them still with tales, while that white frock that floats down the dark alley looks just like Christ. And in the lane, the clink of coins among the gamblers suggests 30 pieces of silver. I watch the clouded years ruin the rough foreheads of these moody hills this wet evening in a lost age.
What are you making exactly?
I'm working on a design that relates to the mining here. It's relating the people to the landscape, and it's representing the people in the history by having a hand, a miner's hand, clutching a lump of coal, which will be it'll be made from oak, and the coal will be made from oak as well. I'm going to burn it and
scorch the
yes, so it's black.
It gives it that coal-like impression. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, and the veins on the hand then as well will be coloured the same as the coal, so it links coal being in the blood of the people from this part of the world.
Very nice.
So it's a history then as well.
Yeah.
So we can involve text, poetry, or something that links something that's written